September 14th, game day for the NFL. You can see I have a MiniSite built. This MiniSite is built on Vue.js. And if you want to know more, you can actually go to the site, NFL2025.31events.com. It's a subsite built just for demo only. And you can see how we actually built this out here. There's a very detailed explainer. If you go into the explainer area, Arnie's done a great job. Arnie's my co-founder and has done a great job of talking about system architecture, data collection, and basically how this all was assembled from a developer's perspective. Arnie being a front-end developer and master on numerous other things here for the calendar invite, has put this together. So I encourage you to go look at it if you actually head to the schedule itself. I'm not going to get too much into it. The stack here is a front-end Vue.js. It's talking to something we built called the calendar invite server. The calendar invite server is a stack that runs on AWS. Let's get on to the real demo. And the demo is Zach come by. Actually, we're going to use Fats. Fats comes by and wants to get some calendar invites for the game. So Fats at techvader.com. That's just a funny name that my uncles called my dad. And what I'm going to do is show you that Fats over here is going to get real calendar invites. So you can see that Fats at techvader.com. And what this person's going to do over here is just click the button. So he's just going to go down here. You can see all these games are playing now, but these aren't. And so I'm just going to go ahead and click a couple of these buttons here. And what this button's doing is calling the gateway. And that gateway, API gateway, is communicating with a endpoint API we built called the Calendar Invite Sending API. So you can kind of see here quickly that this person here, Fats at techvader.com, just got 3 calendar invites. He's going to say yes to these. And we're going to collect the calendar receipt data from these for Mandy. So Mandy's the organizer essentially of all this data over here. And how this system works very quickly is Mandy owns all the calendar invite and calendar event data that's stored in the calendar invite server. She sent those to create at calendarsnack.com. They're registered with the service. We disassemble them, put them in a database. And then when called out of the MiniSite, which I just showed you, that API 1, which is a endpoint for the calendar invite sending, send them out. And then we track the calendar receipts. So the calendar receipts are right here. So what happens in granular detail, someone puts their email address in, clicks the buttons, we reassemble the calendar invite, we send them out, and then we request a participant action role, which is built into the technology of the calendar client. We've hacked that. That's part of our intellectual property. And that commands the client to request a RSVP. Now, if your customer interacts with any of these 3 buttons, yes, no, or maybe, or does nothing, we actually collect that data up here in the Calendar Snack dashboard. This dashboard here is just talking to these APIs right here. So in particular, I'm talking about this Calendar Snack app versus the MiniSite we built. So this is the MiniSite the organizer is using for her customers downstream. Someone like Zach or Fats, I just showed you in the demo. Upstream is Mandy communicating with this calendar invite server using the Calendar Snack app. So that's the quick there. And what Mandy's going to do upstream is we're going to show you that Zach has these, or Fats has these on his calendar downstream. This is his calendar, and I'm going to show you how we update the data. So it's real simple. I'm just going to go into Mandy's calendar over here, and there it is right there. That's Mandy's calendar, and we're going to go into the Cardinals game here. And I believe it might be Carolina Panthers first. It won't matter. I got to make sure I got the right date, and I believe these are for the 15th. The round 2, got to get my dates right. Okay, so that's a 2:05 game. So let's just go down here to 2:05. There it is right there, Cardinals. And so what I'm taking on the persona of Mandy here, and let's pull out this particular invite. So you can see that these are the same, and they got basically sent by the same service, which is the APIs on the calendar invite server that are shuffling around data. So I'm going to go in here and change this data here just a little bit. I'm going to say we're going to show up at booth 1200. And what you're going to see is very quickly when I save it, it goes back to the stage 1 of the calendar invite processor, and it disassembles that information, matches the UID, and then it notifies the processors that this calendar invite should be sent out as an update. So we're waiting for an update to be sent right here, and there it is there. And I'm going to say yes to that. Now, important to note that you'll see that this booth number was updated. And because Mandy is talking to this service right here, Mandy's calendar client is talking to this service right here, it keeps all the data in parallel and basically is following the good, bad, and ugly of how create, read, update, and delete work. So essentially, this calendar client of hers becomes the interface for anything on the MiniSite, anything in the console, and then anything downstream in which has been sent off the MiniSite itself using API 1. So this illustrates that we're gathering the data back and back to the calendar event organizer dashboard. And in addition, the people downstream that are basically recipients of anything off of this game calendar are going to receive updated calendar invites as well. That's the end of the demo. Thanks.